Hello, happy day 6 of our Trucker Appreciation Week STEP-tember Challenge. I'm Zvara. Let me know where you're tuning in from in the comments below. We have been together now for 6 days talking about the importance of walking. Now, many people I work with have never really dedicated an amount of time or even mental energy towards their health, towards their fitness, towards what I call their driver lifestyle, wellness, and well-being. And walking is such a great way to bring that to the forefront of your life. And today we're talking about balance and strength as a part of walking. A lot of people don't necessarily think that balance and strength are even a part of walking. It's like, well, I just get up and I walk. Well, there's a lot of people, because their core is weak, their back is weak, their legs are weak, their glutes are weak, that walking feels like it's exhausting. Or they end up feeling sore the next day, which is a good thing because you're using those muscles. But I want to share with you today some simple, very quick, effective exercises that you can do that are in the realm of balance and stability that are going to help you in your walking journey and, quite frankly, just help you in your all over, everyday, move around well-being. And so when it comes to balance and strength, what we need to do is focus on the muscles, especially in the core and the glutes, legs, and even in the feet. Something that we don't often think about is like building up the muscles in the feet, building up the muscles in the ankles. Because we're walking and we're using that joint well with every step, that can be really fatiguing, especially if we have imbalances, especially if we have flat feet, we're wearing maybe different kinds of shoes that we're not used to, or unsupported shoes if we have some arch issues, all of that stuff. And we could go into a whole, probably 100-day series on just the feet, but we're gonna focus on those muscles that we can utilize and we can build up in order to have a better all-over experience, not just walking, but also in our everyday life. Okay, so when you're walking, we talked about already using a weighted vest. So when you're using a weighted vest, this is what mine looks like when it's not on, okay? I'm not a big fan of the big military style vests. I think they're hot, meaning they're very hot. They keep in all of that body heat. Maybe in the winter that's okay, but I don't like that. And they're too big and bulky. So I just like something that's a little bit more sleek. This is a unisex vest. You can get it in 2 clips or 1. Let me know if you're interested. Drop the word vest in the comment section. And so with the weighted vest, you're going to instantly load your core muscles even more than without the vest. So I'm forced now to use my core muscles, use my back muscles, and even use my glute muscles more than I was before. We talked about this, I think, 2 days ago. You can go back and watch the weighted vest video, and you're gonna be loading that core and building up strength while you walk. You don't wanna put too much weight on, or you're gonna end up with things like shin splints when you're walking. And so we want 0.5 or 0.2 times your body weight is usually what you wanna start with, or like 8 to 10 pounds depending. So right away, I'm loading my core, and I can even hear standing, I can feel these muscles kicking in. So this is one way that you can build up better core strength, better balance and stability, is just loading your walk. But there are other things that you can do as well to build up more strength and stability, and that comes in to balance. And so I have my shoes off today, okay? So when we're doing balance type exercises, when we do them with our shoes on, we're gonna get a very different experience than if we do them with our shoes off, because the shoe is going to mask and going to absorb a lot of the balance that your body then doesn't have to do. So try it with your shoes on, try it with your shoes off. You're probably gonna notice that one is easier than the other. So when it comes to balance, what can I do during the day? What can I do when I'm standing at a stoplight? What can I do when my dog is peeing? Simple thing, try standing on 1 foot. So already you can probably see my leg is kind of twitching and moving around a little bit because it's trying to use all of those stabilizing muscles. I like to think of those as the tiny little muscles in the leg, not the large skeletal muscles that you see when it comes to like major definition in the leg. And I'm trying to utilize better balance. I'm using all of those leg muscles I'm using my glutes, I'm using my core because I have my weighted vest on, all to try to balance. You could also do this while you're brushing your teeth, okay? And so just adding in a little balance like a one-legged stance is going to increase the necessary muscle strength that you need to not only improve your walk, but also improve your all-over well-being. I cannot emphasize this enough. If you do not use your muscles now, you will lose them. It is not something I'm saying to be motivational and be exciting. That is just the human body's evolvement or deterioration. You decide. If I don't use them now, my body is going to lose them. And then what? Then you need PT. Then you need a wheelchair. Then you're going to break a hip. Then all of a sudden your body hurts all the time. Or maybe it already hurts all the time. And that's your natural alarm system saying, hey, it's time to do something. So balance exercise number 1, whether you are engaging in the STEP-tember challenge or you're just thinking about it, can I stand on one foot? I can do this in the line at the grocery store. I can do this while brushing my teeth. I can do this while talking on the phone, whatever the case is. And so can I do this for 10 seconds? Can I do this for 30 seconds? Can I do this for a minute? Pay attention to the base hip, not that you're sitting into the hip, but rather kind of push that glute underneath yourself. And you're going to notice that that hip fatigues, the base hip fatigues a lot more than if you're just kind of sinking into the hip itself. So that's exercise number 1. Exercise number 2 is a really fun exercise, and you're actually going to need, this is our core ball. We sell them on our website, and you'll notice that's not quite inflated as much as maybe it should be, because we're going to challenge all of those core stabilizers in our body. This is like $15, and we're going to really trigger more core activation all through balance. So I'm going to take my little ball, and I'm actually going to stick it underneath one foot. So when I look down, my feet look even in parallel, except one foot's on the ball. You're probably like, Hope, this looks absolutely ridiculous, but trust me, you ain't feeling nothing that you've ever felt before until you do something like this. Now, I'm going to put equal pressure into that ball leg as I have in my base leg and come down into a little squat. Now you'll see that this leg is kind of moving all over the place. Remember I said that core stabilizers in the leg and in the core themselves? Now I'm using all of those muscles that I probably don't use before in my core, in my quads, in my glutes, in my back, in my core. And I'm trying to push into that weighted ball equally as much as I am in my base leg. Can I do this for 10 seconds? Can I do this for 30 seconds? Can I do this for a minute? You are going to completely change the game when it comes to leg strength and core strength when you start adding in a non-stable surface like this little guy here. This is an awesome travel fitness tool. I have a ton of videos inside our membership and also on YouTube around using this little guy here to build up your core strength about 408 times more effectively than doing a sit-up. Please stop doing sit-ups. They're not as effective as you think. But this little guy, 10 times what you do in a sit-up, you can do with using this guy. So that's exercise number 2. And then finally, exercise number 3 that we're going to focus on today, and that's strength and stability. Okay, we're trying to do both strength and stability. Is both feet. Now I like this with bare feet. Okay, you can do it with shoes, but you're not going to get as much out of it. I'm going to try to spread my toes nice and wide. Remember, our shoes are like casts. We want to get them off as much as possible. And then trying to come up onto the balls of the feet without letting my ankles wiggle and wobble, okay? So this is really asking a lot of your foot and leg strength and core strength when you come up off the ground. And what you might discover, I gotta like watch myself almost, because this is hard. It's hard, but not hard, is how long can I stay? Now I have my weighted vest on, which is creating more core strength or more need for core strength. You can do it without. You can also hold the wall or the side of your truck. Is can I come up and keep those ankles nice and steady? Now, if you feel like, wow, that's really hard, stick something between your ankles. So I'm just going to stick this little ball here, and I'm going to squeeze it, okay? I'm going to give it about 50% squeeze. And now when I come up, now I'm triggering what we call the line of the core. So your core actually starts at the arch of your foot, which is why I'm always telling you guys to take off your shoes, because the core doesn't start even here. It starts in the pelvic floor and it actually starts in the foot and comes up your inner leg line. So that inner engagement is really triggering more core strength, all the stuff you're learning today. So now when I come up, how well can I balance? And you could do things like reps if you want to. I'm squeezing the ball. I can actually feel my muscles engage here, and all I'm doing is focusing on squeezing the ball. I can feel my glutes engage, and all I'm doing is focusing on squeezing the ball. And as I come up and down off the floor, I'm encouraging better strength, better control, better stability for not only improving my walk, but I'm also improving my all-over well-being, my posture, everything. Everything benefits. What is still mind-blowing to me, and I can't quite figure out it, and maybe one day I will, is this obsession with these big, huge exercises. And really, the key to aging healthy, the key to improving mobility, strength, just feeling good throughout the day, a lot of times, and I've been doing this a long time, you guys, I've been doing this 25 plus years, is focusing on those little muscles, those intrinsic movements, the snaps between the big muscles and the big muscle groups. Like push-ups are great, but the amount of people I've seen blown their shoulder because they actually don't have the right muscles developed yet to even be doing that exercise. I don't even have enough digits on my hands and my entire family's hands and feet to even count the amount of people that have done that. And so building up the right muscles first, building up the right strength first, taking it back just a step so that you can launch yourself forward 20 steps. And so these 3 exercises can make a huge difference, not only in your walk, higher performance, walking farther, walking faster, walking with less pain and fatigue, but also just improving how you feel in your body, because you only get one body and replacement parts are never as good as the originals, and you deserve it. You absolutely deserve it. So let me know in the comments below what you think about what we talked about today during our STEP-tember challenge. This is day 6. You can find this little guy on our website, and let me know what your walking journey is looking like in the comments below. I will see you guys again tomorrow for our last day of the Trucker Appreciation Week and the last day of our STEP-tember challenge, but that doesn't mean that it has to be the last day for you to be stepping up to the plate for your health. All right, you guys, until next time, see you soon. Bye. Peace out.